Hello and welcome. Hopefully you can all hear everything and see everything. As I explained earlier on my chat, I'm on my own today, so no earworm. So if I miss comments that people make, I apologise. Hopefully I'll catch up with them eventually. And we won't have anybody to read out a list of who's here. But so far, I see Roger's just arrived and Ward. So welcome everybody. That's about the best I can do, I think. And today we're going, as I promised last week, we're going to be making a stem for a wine glass. There it is, nice slender one. I try and pick glasses with a narrow stem at the top where they join the bowl, because it makes you don't have to have too much timber here then. And it makes it all look nice and slim, and they sell very well. People like them. So we can change to a different camera for that one. That's the wine glass I'm going to be using. You can see I've marked it to where it's got to be cut, and in best Blue Peter fashion, I have one here that I've marked. Cut, I mean. So that's the bowl we're going to fit to the piece that's on the lathe at the moment, and the piece on the lathe looks remarkably like that, because this is another one, because I'm hoping to make two today, so we'll see. If it works, it's fine. When I'm going to do them with this Jo Sonja paints, I do them in two separate pieces. It doesn't waste as much timber. Having said that, we're wasting a great lump here, but that was something I had kicking about in the workshop already turned. So that's what I'm using. If you're doing it natural timber base, obviously you do it in one piece. It looks much nicer. I've done various ones in yew and other timbers, I think, in the past. I think there's some photographs somewhere around. So that's what we're going to be turning into that stem. You can see it's sort of about the right size. There'll be a bit of leftover timber on here which we can use for something else later maybe. So I've already got one mounted on the lathe. I'm just going to cover my keyboard, because I've been reminded already about doing that. Thank you very much. Oh, hello, what's going on here? That's better. The mouse got attacked. Right, okay, let's have a look at what's on the lathe. There it is, looking very similar to the one I just showed you. The base of the base is going to come down to about there somewhere. We don't need too much thickness here, just enough to slope it up and curve it into the stem. There's a 10mm piece on the end of that glued into there, and it goes about 15mm into that, so hopefully I can leave enough thickness to avoid showing that in the base, although it's not the end of the world if that happens. Okay, so let's, without further ado, hello Amy, welcome. I think Ward, did I say hello? I've said hello now. Anyway, I will be missing people coming in, and I apologise for that, but there we are. We'll do the best we can. So we start with that bit, the top, where it joins the bowl, and we need to know what size hole to drill. So let's have a measure. You can't see what I'm doing. Here we are. And we'll see what size hole we need. The narrowest point, which is the bit we really want, is 8.5, which is at the bottom there. So, and I've got to go in 21mm, 22mm. Right, put that out of the way, then I won't break it. 8.5 drill bit. Dum 8.5, there it is. And chuck. Got it. Oop. Does that upset the camera? No, that's all right then. I don't know if that one helps. Might do, might not. We'll see. Right, so 22 mil, wasn't it? Yeah, that should be right. I'll put the centre back up later. What I also need to do is just mark how deep that goes. The 22 mil basically it should be, but let's be absolutely certain about it just there, so I don't reduce this too much and it falls off. That's not good. Okay, yeah, we'll put that there just as a steady a little bit. Can't put too much pressure on because it's expanding it otherwise. Right, okay. See how we go. We can do that. All my pencils are not in their proper holders. Right, that's how far that is. And therefore we know we can take slope our bowl down sort of there somewhere-ish. Oh, there it is. Thought I'd lost the tool then. Right, so it's a fine balance between having it looking delicate and it falling apart. But we've got plenty of timber there. It's actually a piece of oak, this, so a little bit brittle but quite strong. If you can see what I mean by that. That's getting there. Yeah, that's all right. Oh, you can't see that. Let's change to that camera. Yes, you can see that a bit better. And is that light's a bit much, isn't it? Take it down there somewhere. Right. I'm going to sand that before too long, while it's still reasonably strong. But the other thing I need to do is actually fit the glass into it, because at the moment that won't go in. So get that out of the way, find the glass, there it is. Yes, we've got to taper that, which I knew we were going to have to do, so that's not a problem. I've got some little tools that I've made, just scrapers, but they come in quite handy now. Can you see those? They're just rounded at the bottom. They come in handy for all sorts of things, and this is one of them, getting into a small hole like this and taking a little bit off the side in there. So that's not really showing as much as it would be useful. Yes, in there. So the tool, it's got a little handle on the end, very delicate little thing, but quite useful for doing this sort of job. So let's see if we can make that fit now. I've left enough on this end to do that, fortunately. Try it out. Nearly there, a little bit more, because I don't need much left on here, fortunately. Further down it wants a little bit more off. It's getting there. Not a million miles away. That's better. It'll go a little bit more, I think. Yeah, a little bit more, but it's not far away now. Right, let's see how that is. That would be quite nice. That won't show too much of a lip on the outside there. And that's quite nice and firm in there. That's good. Excellent. I'm just going to run a bit of glass paper over that. Save us having to do it when it's thinner down here. Hello Barry, Jonathan, Mark, good to see you all. As I was telling everybody earlier, I'm struggling without an earworm today, so if I miss people, I apologise. I'm rather more concentrating on the lathe than on the screen, to be honest. Which I think is as it should be. That's it, that's lovely, that's that bit. Okay, we'll start working our way down the stem. Conversation going on with Mark about the project of the day. Mine's a glass, as I think you all know. Right, where's the tool gone? There it is. Right, let's start taking some off on the stem. I will just put the tailstock up. Oh, it goes right inside now. That's quite useful. Right. Good. I'll just steady it up a bit. I'm not doing anything fancy on here at all. It'll be exactly as per the one I showed you at the beginning. As per that. So you can see we've got the top bit done. I've made that a little bit shorter on this one, but it's absolutely fine. But it'll be extended down to there somewhere, so it will be about the same as that. Okay. It's a moderately cruddy piece of oak, but I think it'll survive. Right, now I'm aiming to get the thickness of that to about the same as the one I had here, displaying earlier. The one over here. Yes, you can see me good. So I want to get the stem about that thickness because it works, it looks good. So let's just take a size, because we're going to try and make the two of these into a pair, so, or the two that I'm making today. So we'll see how it goes, but that obviously needs quite a bit more off yet. So I shall just delicately take that down to the width I want. Give me some sort of datum, that's it. And similarly down here. Like that. And that should be somewhere near. Just check that. Yeah, it could go a fraction. By the time I've glass papered it, it'll be a little bit less anyway, so that's absolutely fine. Okay, so now we shape this into here. Take that middle bit off. Treating it fairly gently at all times because timber being made up as it is tends to split. I will just mark that if I can find my ruler, because I know I made that hole 15mm deep that I excuse me, set it into the base by. So we'll just put a I think I'm doing about 16 mil. I don't want the bottom any higher than that, but then we can take off timber as much as we like above that, so excuse me. That's it. That's lovely. Going against the grain here, but I can't get in to do it, go the other way, so getting there. It's up. Taking tiny little pieces off. Now then I need to try and get that. Now the other thing I haven't checked is the width of the base. It's not the size of this piece of timber, I've realised. I'm quick like that. About 80 mil, which is, oh dear, that's not good. It's about there. Rough old bit there. I'm not sure what this timber is. It's a piece I had for some other job I was going to do and then decided in the end it was all too much hassle to be worthwhile. That's alright, I've got to take that off, so that'll get rid of that bit anyway. The reason I forgot to do this earlier was because normally I cut them to the size I want them before I start, but for some reason I didn't on this one. Right, let's put that in there a bit. Trying to get this so that it's not looking too heavy, but in fact provides a little bit of weight at the bottom. It just makes the glass a little bit more stable. Not a lot, but it all helps. That's better. That's better. Okay, we'll just give that a quick check and then a sand down, I suspect. Yeah, it's quite a sand down on that middle bit. Don't know what that timber is, as I say, but it's rough, whatever it is. Dum-de-dum-dum. Right then. A little bit more. $400 will be enough for this. Right, let's see how that's looking. I think there's a very slight gap opened up where the two bits join together in here. Yeah, just very, very slight there, and that one's a little bit more sanding. So rest of that's all right. Right, let's see if we can get that improved. Yeah, it's actually not too bad. It looks worse than it is, but because it's going to be painted, we can get away with a little bit on that. Amazing just how much these things move when you make them thinner. Hello Brian, welcome. Oh, well done Ward, working on something multi-axis. Pleased to hear it. Good fun. Don't get ice burnt, yeah. Good. That should be better now. Yes, it is. Much better. Okay, now then, I think I'm alright on that. By the time that's all coloured and everything else, it's going to be fine. Right, a bit of sanding sealant. Just ignore the phone. My wife's out as well, so I'm all deserted today. Hello Paul, welcome. And Ben, I see Ben's in somewhere. I see Mark said hello to him anyway. Oh, another Ben, is it? Young Ben. Right, so I'll put this just to catch a few of the bits of ebonising lacquer that end up on the bed of the lathe. Oh, no, camera's still there, so that's all right. Okay. Certainly has been cold, seeing Malcolm's comment about the being cold in the workshop. I've got the heater, it's been on all morning and it's just taken the edge off a little bit now. Right, let that dry off. And we can, in fact, what I'll do is while that's drying, I'll cut the glass for the next one. That one shows it, I think. Yes, it does. Good. Using my Dremel, excuse me, I'm going to cut it about where that black mark is. I think you can you see that? No, you can't. Yes, just there. I'm going to cut it there. The Dremel's got a diamond coated blade in it, a very small one, but it's ideal for this because it breaks quite easily. Just go around the outside. By the time you've gone all the way around, it breaks. There we are. And then just tidy up. Can you see that? No. There. Just tidy it up, get rid of the sharp edges. More for my preservation than anything else. But it does also stop it catching the timber as you're trying to push it in. Just put a bit of a chamfer on there. Just makes it a bit easier. Right, that's that one ready. Chuck the stem away, we don't need that. Right, now then, how's that? Yes, that's covered nicely. It's not dry yet though. Not quite, nearly. So I'll give it a bit of heat. See if that helps a bit. Oh, too many cables around here, to be honest. There we are. Get the worst of the dust off it. I'm sure you've all seen the Jo Sonja iridescent paints before. But for those of you who haven't, it's a strange looking product in that they all look white when you first start. I think I've overheated that. Yes, I have. Damn, it's bubbled up. Ho ho ho. It all looks white when you first start. And then as it, because it's got a black background, as it dries the colour comes out, which is quite magical. I just have to give that a little bit of another coat because I've screwed that up well and properly. Got it too hot, impatient, that's the problem. Rush it, get it to dry quickly. So let's just sand that down a little bit. It doesn't sand down very well when it's slightly tacky still. But we'll get it there. It's feeling drier now. More haste, less speed. Right, let's see how that's looking. That's better. Right, we'll give it another coat. Fairly thinnish, I hope. Put that back up there. I'll just wipe it over this to just give it a bit more. That's better. A bit more smoothness. That's it. Yep. Right, let that dry. I shan't get quite so close this time. That's really very sensitive. It's bubbled up again. Ooh. I've never had this trouble before. Unless it's pure contrast between the warmth of the hairdryer and the cold of the workshop. Oh, I see what it was. Nope, it's not dry yet. Okay. That's drying now. It's getting there, bit by bit. Oh, Cameron, sorry, thank you, Roger. Thank you for reminding me. Completely forgot where I was. No, let's go to that one. That's better. Looking down at it. Right, yep. This is the problem, not having an earworm, isn't it? Right, it's nearly there, not quite. Oh, the importance of earworms, yes. Yes, I do apologise. I'm not good at doing it on my own. In fact, I need somebody to hold my hand most of the time. But camera coming up all the way along. I do apologise for that. I completely forgot I was on the other camera. Amy says she can do it. I don't know if I've got your contact things for Messenger, which is where I'd send it to you. I tried Scott, and I tried my friend Tom, and Peter was not going to be here. Keith he's here if he's up to it, and he's still finding it tough. He's having a recovery time. So I thought I'd just try it on my own. But it does make the point, Ward, you're absolutely right. So I think most of the comments are about being on the wrong camera. Yeah, okay. See if I can outdo Mike's 10 minutes, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Mark. I wouldn't see it if I didn't look at it. Anyway, there we are. We're on the right camera now, and it's nearly dry. Go away. Leave a message on the answer phone, that's what it's for. Just a little bit tacky down the bottom there. On the lower temperature setting as well, which will help. That's better. That's very nearly there. I'll just give a little bit of time just to harden up a bit, but this bit's okay. I can just smooth that off a bit where it did bubble slightly, but it won't be enough to worry about. Lovely job. Rightio. Here we go. Let's get going with some paints. Right, I'm going to give you something you can all take part in. I'm going to be doing a base colour, which will be green, blue, turquoise, violet, red, or red. That's it. Green, blue, red, violet, and turquoise. So put your bids in. That'll be the base colour, and then I should put little dobs of gold on it, and probably little dobs of another colour. But one new message one camera. Yep, we're all right at the moment. Turquoise. We've got to vote for turquoise. So another turquoise. Good. I like turquoise. It's a nice colour. They're all nice colours actually. These Jo Sonja ones. They're quite striking. But it's looking like turquoise at the moment. Rob and Malcolm have both voted for it. At least it proves you can hear me. That's something. I know he was planning to go there, Martin. He said he was planning to go. I'm glad he made it. That's really good. And he was at Club Lodge the other Sunday as well. So I would love you to, Amy. I need to have some. Can you send me your contact on Messenger, and then I can send it to you. Yeah, if you go onto Messenger, you should be able to pick Andy H is for turning up fairly easily. Ah, there we are. Yep, lovely. Right, let's get your page up, and I've already got it in there. I'll simply just paste it in and send it. There we are, and then I'll keep an eye open for you coming in. I'm very, very grateful, Amy. Thank you. Yes, the violet does go well with the turquoise, and I may well use the violet for the second colour. Yeah. Greetings from Mike Doyle. Hello, Mike. No sign of Amy yet. Dum-de-dum-dum. Nope, still no sign of her. It's normally fairly quick. Hello, Mike. Sorry, Amy's just offered to earworm form. Ah, here we are. She's just coming in now.
Hello, everyone.
Hello there. Oh, I think you've got your YouTube sound out on.
Do I?
Yeah, I've got an echo. If you just mute it on YouTube, we'll be fine.
I'll have to pop back out. Hang on.
Okay. But we're nearly there. Thank you, Mike. Yep, it's going to be even more lovely when it's decorated, which is what we're just about to do. But it's giving it a chance to dry, actually. There we go.
Okay.
That's
How's
better.
it going this time? Brilliant.
Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you very much.
No worries at all. My pleasure.
I've still got a slight echo. If you go to the playback on YouTube,
I have turned it off.
and go on the mute sign at the bottom. That should stop it.
I might have to unplug my earphones.
Have you got
That's
speakers as
probably the
well
problem.
on? Could be.
I'll just have my phone. Yeah, hang on.
Sorry about this. We'll get there in the end.
Me and technology don't get along.
Right, I can't hear the echo now. So good.
Okay, brilliant.
Excellent. That's lovely. Thank you very much, Amy. Very pleased to see you.
My pleasure.
And I can concentrate on my turning now, which would be nice. Right. Okay. Let's put you in the background and go back
Brilliant.
over to the lathe. Right. That's now nice and dry. We can get some paint ready. What's that doing there? Right.
Mike Doyle has complimented you, saying it's a lovely stem.
Thank you, Mike. Right, so brush would probably be a good idea. Got thousands of them, so where's the bigger one? There it is.
They somehow accumulate over the years, don't they?
They certainly do, yes. Yeah. I've got about 5 or 6 packs of them, and I've not used half of them. But hey, got to keep yourself well equipped.
Exactly.
But that one will work. We'll put a little, in fact, I don't even need to do that. Turquoise, we said, didn't we? Yeah. Right, as I was saying, sorry, go on.
Oh, no, Malcolm has just asked what time it is. For me, it is nearly 1 a.m.
Oh dear. Here we are in the middle of the afternoon. Right, so as I was saying, it's white, and it just looks white until it starts to dry, so you'll see that now. Let's get this on there. You can see it just actually, as it goes on, it's starting to show that greenish tinge around there. You can see it, yeah, good.
Yep.
Going to give it a solid coat of this.
I love the iridescent paints. They're beautiful.
Oh, they're gorgeous, aren't they? Fantastic colours. And the greens seem to come up particularly well. Green and turquoise. Both of them. But it's really weird the first time you use it. Especially if you mix your bottles up. Just slap it on there.
Yeah, because the colours are only on like a little dot on the bottles, aren't they?
Yeah, excuse me. Yes, it says turquoise on it, which, and I think the labels are sort of that colour, but they're not very. It's not very clear.
It's not very clear yet.
If you see that underneath that, you can see it vaguely. It's greenish, but it says turquoise, which is what I always look at. I believe everything I read. Right, just make sure it's got a reasonably even coat of it. It's not
bad. Malcolm, I try to support as many of you beautiful turners as I can. So, look, it's not that big of a price to pay, staying up until,
well, we appreciate it.
Not too late. Thank you. And Martin, I'm in Victoria.
Victoria
in Australia. So
I was right. Yes.
So Melbourne.
That's of course you're Australian. I know that. Yes.
And Gav's come in late, and he's asked what wood it is, please.
That's a very good question. I'll make a decision soon. No, it is basically there's a finished one. If you can see that somewhere there. a wine glass with a decorated stem, and in fact that was done in green. This one is being done in turquoise, and we're going to put a bit of, was it violet, Martin? Did you suggest? He said a colour, didn't he?
So.
He'll come back, I'm sure. It wasn't red, it wasn't green. I think it must have been violet.
Oh yes, but it was violet. Yes.
Was violet. Good. That's the one I've got out, so that's helpful. Okay, so we'll clean that brush off a bit. And we'll use a smaller brush. Oh, use this one here. This slot's open. And we're just going to put little dots of violet on now. We may or may not put some dots of gold later on. I'm just going to help that to dry off a little bit, just a tiny weeny little bit, just on the lower temperature again. Although you can actually put it on while it's still wet, the underneath coat. I've done it many a time. Tends to mix them up a little bit, but it doesn't matter too much. On this sort of effect, or the effect I'm after, it doesn't need to be super smooth. In fact, you don't want it to be super smooth really, because it doesn't suit me. Because I'm not super smooth. Right. Let's just put a few dobs of this on. Quite fairly casually applied.
Martin has said if you add a touch of the gold, you might get the cosmic cloud effect.
Yeah, that other one that I was showing you had some gold on it, and as a matter of habit, I've always done a colour and gold on top of the base colour. So yes, I agree with you, Martin. It gives you a very nice finish, a good effect, and you just see hints of all the colours without it being a big slab of it. I had thought about just doing round the base with the second colour, but I didn't apply the paint very well on the stem, so so we've covered that up. That's all gone now. Oh, steady hand would probably help, but you can thin these down as well. I've got some flow medium. I've never actually used it. I've never found the need to.
They're fairly thin on their own, aren't they, Andy?
Sorry?
Are
They're
they
fairly,
thin?
yeah. They're fairly easy. I mean, it doesn't. If you tip it up, it doesn't pour out. So it's that thick. But it's very easy to apply. So I don't see the need to do anything more. But it's just strange to use something that goes on white and then changes colour. It's quite exciting, really. Especially if you're not sure which bottle you picked up.
Yeah, yes.
That's it. That's coming up quite nicely. That's beginning to show the
beautiful.
The violet through. Can you see that? Yes. Well,
yes.
Not very well. That's too much light. Yeah, it's coming, isn't it? It's still quite a lot of white on it, but that will dry. A little bit more in there.
And Dave B's come back. He said he had to step away for a bit, but he made it back in time for the pretty.
Oh, good. Glad to see you. And an earworm as well, which is equally good. Equally attractive, I should say.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, quite all right. No, thank you. Thank you very much for volunteering. I'm so glad. It sort of almost gets lonely here because you can't hear anybody else talking. Which is sad, really, isn't it? And my wife would have done it, but she's out. Ladies at lunch, and all that.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, she has a much better social life than I do, but hey ho. I don't mind. Suits me. I'm in my workshop all the time.
Yeah, you're both having fun.
Yep, that's right. My favourite place to be. Right, I think that's enough of that. And then we'll just.
There's a house up the road from me that's for sale that's on, I don't know, however many acres, and it says on the list of what it includes how big the shed is, and I'm like, ooh, it's very
That's the
tempting.
important bit. Yes.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Very nice. If they
And it
treat
said
that as important, then they're my sort of people. Yeah. Mine's too
exactly.
mine's too small. We've got such a small garden that I can't have any bigger than I've got, and it really is far too small.
Mhm.
But hey, it's cosy.
Yeah.
Right, a few dabs of gold here and there, I think. And the observant amongst you will notice I didn't bother to clean my brush. I just wiped it because it really doesn't matter if bits get mixed up. Not important. Don't put too much of this on, otherwise it becomes a gold one. Put a few bits down here. This is just starting to show gold.
You could do Christmas ones with these, with the
Yes,
red and gold and greens.
that's right. Yeah, absolutely. It's got all the colours for it. Yeah.
Mm,
Yes, that was sort of in the
beautiful.
back of my mind when I started this, but then I thought, no, I'll let other people decide. Because they're lovely.
And
I mean,
then
they're nice all year round, to be honest.
they are. You can change up the color of the background as well. If you go for a dark blue, that'll change the effects.
It does
It
change
has,
the effect quite
yeah,
dramatically. Yes, yeah. I,
dark blue or a dark green.
mm, I've got I've got green and I've got blue, but it is just blue.
Hmm.
There's no choice as to how dark it is. Just take what you get.
Hmm.
But it's a lovely, real sort of metallic colour, which is what the iridescence is all about, isn't it? And it's gorgeous. Right, I think I'm not going to do any more to that, apart from take it off the lathe and let it dry. And
And
I'll start the second one.
beautiful. Rob from Klingsplorer Braces is in. Hi, Rob.
Hello, Rob. Oh, that's right. He was trying to establish his Christian name last time he was in. Rob, very pleased to see you. Right, so just take that out of there. Put the other one in and start turning. And then anybody who missed anything, I should be fairly quick with it and not finish it probably, but where have I done with it? There it is. It's 2 o'clock now, so I don't want to labour you good people too much. Lovely job. Now then, that's the one. That was the first one. That's the one goes with that.
And is this one oak as well?
Yes, it's exactly the same timber. It was one piece I cut in half and made that. The base is the same timber again, but I'm not actually sure what it is. I think it's the same.
Beautiful.
As it's something I actually turned for a project. No, I don't know if it is the same actually, which I never got around to finishing. I'm not going to, so I thought we'd use it for this, since it was turned to that size blank.
It's always good when that works out.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't like throwing stuff away, and I can do something with the base. What's left of the base, probably. Right, okie doke. Let's start again. So we've got to drill the hole, put all this stuff out of the way. This is where I find my lack of benches to be a problem. was 8.5, wasn't it? The drill bit, if you remember. I don't know if anybody does, but it was. Oh, it's still in the drill, in the chuck anyway, so that's easy. And it was 22mm deep. Right, so. Oh. Is that gonna. Yes, it is. Okay, so. $22. Good. Right, now we know that is not going to fit. That was the one. Yeah, that's this one. So we know we've got to shape it up a bit. Yep. The advantage of doing a second one, isn't it? You know what you need to do.
You get the muscle memory from the first one to.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep, perfect it.
Come on. Sped up. Yep, a little bit more, yep. Yeah, it's not 25 yet. So, very useful little tools, those. Made them when I first started doing turning. I was doing something that needed something a bit fine. It's a bit more off there yet. And they've come in handy ever so many times since. On that one. You see what I'm doing to the hole, making it bigger. I think that'll do it. That's fitting quite nicely now. Time it's got some resin around it, that's going to be good and solid. Okay. Now then. $25mm. 70 is about there. The point at which I need
Mike Doyle's off to work. He's saying it's just hitting 6 a.m. for him and nice and crisp and cold out there. And he'll watch the remainder later. And he's
good.
off to work.
Thank you very much. We'll enjoy work if you can.
Take care out there, Mike. And Doug Miller is asking, are you using 5-minute epoxy to glue the glass into the stem?
Yes, I think it is 5 minutes. Where's it gone? Oh, there it is. Fast cure, yeah, 5 to 6 minutes. Yep, it is. There it is. Right, so just to try and get it somewhere near the same, I'm just setting the calipers to the width of the one that's slightly wet. Yeah, there's a bit to go yet. We can do that quite easily. That's the maximum.
Did you want to change to overhead?
Oh, I can go
Andy?
overhead again. Yep, thank you very much.
That's okay.
There we are. That's better. Yes, it was only when I was working on the end I thought it would be useful.
Yeah.
Nice and gently, because it's a bit fragile up there now. That's better. Now then, and that was, there it is. Keep losing everything.
It's over there.
Yeah, it's behind you. It was. So my bandsaw, everything goes onto my bandsaw. It's the only flat space that's nearly empty most of the time. Right, so we need to just give myself a mark. The size of the stem. So let's work this into it. Now, if I'm honest with this piece of timber, when I first picked it up, I couldn't see what it was. It was so grubby and blackened. But it turned out to be oak, so I was quite happy with that.
Beautiful. Looks like it's turning nice and easily for you.
It is. Yes, it's doing rather well.
Beautiful.
It's not splintering as much as oaks can do sometimes.
A little bit fragile, is it?
It can be, yeah. But it's this is a nice piece actually. It's going well.
And Malcolm Douglas has to go. He says, "Well done, Andy."
Thank you, Malcolm.
Take care, Douglas. Malcolm.
Yep. Be careful. Thank you for coming along, basically.
Yes, everyone, please stay safe out there, especially when you're on the roads and on the move. Stay safe.
Yes, it's a bit icy over here, and we haven't had it for several years now, really, in any quantity. So it's all taken us a bit by surprise. Why anything takes us by surprise in the weather, I don't know, but there we are. It does. We get quite excited when it starts to settle because we haven't seen any for years down in the south here.
Yep. Now I have to travel about an hour or so up the mountain if I want to go to the snow.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah. So, but we still get pretty thick frosts and things like that down here.
Right.
Cause
Oh
I'm
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because we haven't
lower
really
down.
haven't
So.
had that many of those until this year. Quite a while. Strangely, it's been very strange weather.
Oh, it has, hasn't it? Like
Yeah.
we've been having flooding here in Victoria and further, well, and New South Wales and Queensland. So kind of the whole of the east coast is a bit wet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But no, we're just north of the South Downs here, which seems to change the weather. We've got our own sort of microclimate almost. It sort of pushes it over the top of us and sends it up north to Horsham.
Oh, right.
So we do get some very strange weather. We miss
We
out on
get
all the
4 seasons in one day, so
all the good thunderstorms. Miss us, you know. I love a good thunderstorm.
yep.
Right, that's now getting somewhere near where I want it to be. Until I've sanded it, it will be lovely, but the bottom's not right yet. So that one's a bit. Let's take a bit off here first. I haven't sanded this one. I think the other one was so firm, so solid. I think I can get away with doing that later. We'll find out, won't we? Right, so the overall size of that is 120.
Dave B's saying that they're still in horrible drought where he is.
Oh, really?
Oh,
We've been through floods just recently because we're on the River Arun.
yep.
The floodplain for the River Arun. I mean, we've always had them forever, and the floodplain is just alongside the village, and every year we get floods. So you know we're used to it. But they've been quite bad this year, quite severe.
Mm.
There's only one house that gets flooded, and they're used to that, so it doesn't matter. Mind you, I think if I lived in the house, I wouldn't feel the same way. But,
No. I think I'd have permanent sandbags or something around my house.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's
Poor
it's
things.
not good. It's not good. But they got pumps to take it away, but they keep breaking down.
Mm.
So it doesn't help very much.
Always the way.
I know
I
had to
remember.
replace. Sorry, go on.
No, you go.
I had to replace all the windows in there one year because everything was polluted with sewage, and
Oh no.
so they had to strip all the plaster off the walls inside, change all the windows and doors.
Oh
It was a
wow.
mammoth job, a marathon job. It really was huge. But
Poor things.
yeah, it was not nice. But they got a nice conservatory put on while they were doing it, so.
Make the most of the construction and add on.
I mean, they'd lived there forever. They were quite used to flooding. It was the sewage that was the not good bit.
12 years ago now was when I was in England, and my other half, he's from up north in Cumbria, Lake District.
Oh, right. Oh, lovely. Yeah, gorgeous.
And we were touring, the local towns, and we went to Cockermouth, and
Oh,
they
yes,
had
they had some serious floods up there.
They had the markings on the wall of one of the pubs of how high it went up, and I just, wow.
That's right. Yeah. No, we went to Cockermouth, or to Cumbria and Cockermouth as part of it.
Yeah.
A few years ago now, but yeah, it was quite interesting to see all that. Wordsworth's cottage and all the rest of it. He's the famous person from up there. Poet. That's not right. There'll be a more gentle slope. But no, it's gorgeous scenery up there, isn't it?
It's beautiful. We only had 2 weeks, unfortunately, but yeah, that wasn't long enough.
No, but you can get a taste of it.
Absolutely.
It's not going right, but it's getting close. That's better. That's better.
Lovely.
Getting the shape now. It's quite small, so I'll take a little bit more off here.
Even that basewood seems to be turning lovely.
It tears a bit. I found on the other one. I haven't stopped this one and looked at it yet, but so I've been a little bit more gentle with some of it. Oh, that's all right. This one's okay. Yep. No, the other one tore quite badly on the base there. But this one hasn't. So perhaps just being a bit more gentle has made the difference. Sometimes works, but not on any ladies of my acquaintance. Right, now then, sand it. Oh, that's needed a bit of attention there. We'll do with that. Yeah, it's torn on the end grain here. Just a little bit, not too seriously. That's better. Time that's sanded, that'll be lovely.
That's better.
Now then, can I get this out of here? Yes. The other one jammed in as well. Shows I've got a good fit. Right then. Bit of sanding. Quickly. Because then I should be able to part that one off. It's pretty nearly dry and ready to go now, I think. Which is good. It's 2:30. I should finish. I've got to go and rescue somebody's car in a minute for them. Got a flat battery this morning in the cold.
Oh no!
So I've got to go out with some jump leads and. Oh no, I've got to go and pick up a new battery for them. That's right. And then fit it. Joys of being handy.
Handy Andy.
Yeah. No, he's a good friend. So I'll look after him. He is in his 80s as well. So
Oh,
my wife went and took them home on her way out. So I'm going to go and pick him up, take him back to the car, get a battery, or take him.
yep.
And
Beautiful.
then he can get on his way. Right, well that's actually not too bad, so I don't think I'm going to be too much longer, because you've seen the rest of the process, the painting bit. I will just take it off the lathe and show you the first one, and I could even part it off, I suppose, but that's come up quite nicely. I think there'll be a reasonably good match. Yeah, time it's painted.
You could do all kinds of fancy things with them, couldn't you? Captive rings and texturing.
Oh, you could do if you really wanted to. Yeah. So I have a thing about captive rings. I don't like them.
Oh, they look beautiful.
They're pretty much the same size, and that one's coming up quite nicely. Now it's drying, but and they match fairly well. You can't really see it, but so I think I'll leave it there.
Brilliant work,
It's
Andy.
not to start rushing around, but they always sell well. People just like something different, and they look at them and say, "Yeah, why have you got them on your woodworking stall?" So then I show them the underneath, and they can see the timber. Let's do that, and you're coming back on screen, just to warn you. There we are. So
Brilliant.
good. Yeah, Martin says he remembers not being able to get across the bridge at Pulborough. They've improved the drainage a little bit, the flow of the river a little bit now, so it's very rare that it does come right over the road, but it does occasionally. It did a little bit this time, but not enough to stop traffic going through. So it's quite exciting. All the bridges around the area all flood. You often can't get along roads. So didn't rain any.
Yeah, we've got a little creek down the road that does the same thing every now and again, and you can't go that way, and then one further down the road, so you can't go that way. So you're
that's
a
right.
bit
That's
stuck.
right. That's exactly what it's like here. Yeah, because we've got a number of rivers, about 3 within fairly easy walking distance of us, and they all drain a very large area. So
yep.
Of course, we get lots of floods, which is all very exciting.
We'll send all the water to Dave.
Yes, I was going to say, saying it didn't rain any this past spring, summer, or fall. We've had so much rain this year. Earlier on,
Crazy.
Huge amounts. I've never seen rain like it. My brand new workshop started leaking. I've got to get up there when it's dried out and sort that out. But anyway, that's by the by. When I joined, I thought you were turning acrylic. No, certainly not. I don't. It's too messy. I prefer to turn timber. I'm very old-fashioned. I don't mind. I'm proud of it. But no, they've and people do. They look at them and they really don't believe that is timber until you do that for them. That one I went just too far and showed the bit coming through, but that's another matter. We won't go there. But no, they're nice, and I've got some. I mean, I think it was Keith gave me those to see. God, they've been there a while, covered in dust. See what I can do with those. The sort of cut glass.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Things. But the trouble is, they've got that huge, great bulb on there. Which is going to make it too chunky. So I think what I might do is just put a half stem on it. Join it here. Oh, sorry, you can't see. There. So about halfway down the stem. Either that or just the base. I've done that on. I had some green glasses. Somebody said, "Can you do something with this?" Because I broke it. It had broken right at the bottom of the stem. So I just made a new base. And then I used this Jo Sonja the iridescent paints,
Beautiful.
And the green matched the green of the glass. And she was absolutely thrilled with it. In fact, she gave me another one. I said,
Lovely.
"Can you break that there and put it?" So I did. So,
Beautiful.
yeah, but
Oh, well done.
that would actually be a problem. It'd be so chunky there. So unless you did I did some stubby gin glasses, which just had a base on them about that that long, sort of 2 inches or thereabouts, and spreading outwards. And they were quite fun. They went down well. In fact, I did those on YouTube not very long ago.
Oh, gorgeous.
So phone's busy today. So anyway, there we are. So yes, thank you very much, Amy. I'll
Oh,
echo
my
what
pleasure.
Rob's
My
saying.
pleasure.
No, it's really great of you. Thank you. It
No
was
worries.
so much easier to have somebody there watching the chat. You can't do it when you're on the lathe. At least I can't.
Not,
I'm not into
yes. Safety
multitasking.
first.
It's a female thing, multitasking. So I can't do
No,
that.
no. Safety first. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, you're absolutely
absolutely.
right. Yeah,
You take
and
care out there, and thank you very much for having me.
no, thank you. And I shan't be in for the next 2 or 3 weeks. We've got family down next week, and then it's all getting
Beautiful.
very close to Christmas. So
Yes.
it'll be in the new year. But I'll post it up. I'll post it when I'm going to do one, and let you know. I
That's
can't think.
all fine. I
Can't
don't think we'll hold that against you. It is family time. So,
absolutely. Yeah, I should be in
yeah.
big trouble if I don't. So you know, you got to sort of self preservation, really.
That's correct. That's correct.
So good. Thank you, Brian. Yes, interesting project. It is. They're good fun. A little bit delicate, but not too difficult. Anybody can do them. Just you go a bit easy when you're getting thin. So, but there we are.
Take your time.
Lovely. Okay, well, everybody, have a Merry Christmas, all of you,
You too. Take
and
care, Andy.
thank you, and we'll see you in the new year.
Stay safe, everyone.
Cheers. Bye. I'll just press the button. There we go.